My 26, female, fiance cheated on me 3 years before I asked her to marry me. And I, 27 male, I'm only finding out about it now, 10 months after proposing. Not sure how to react slash deal with it. So I feel the need to talk and have no one to talk to. This will be long winded. Sorry. I met my fiance in college about 6 years ago. We started dating 5 years ago and seriously could not get enough of each other. We took a lot of the same classes together, took the same breaks as each other's, and hung out after class every day. I was, and still am, madly in love with her. Eventually, to save the cost of both of us commuting to school every day, I moved into her parents' house with her so we could carpool, share groceries, and whatever other expenses we needed to cover. We would see each other the entire day sometimes, depending on our classes from the moment we woke up to the moment we went to sleep. We both enjoyed each other's company and neither of us really got tired or annoyed of one another. Closer to graduation, dating for about 2 years at this point, she got a really good paying job, 400 miles away, while I found a job in our city about 5 minutes from her parents' house. She would be able to come home 1 week per month. We both knew it would be a shock to us, being separated for the first time in several years, but we knew we could do it. She left for work, and I immediately began trying to find a job in the same place she was working to be closer to her. I applied to every job in our field in her area, and I wasn't getting calls. Still living with her parents since they were close to my job. I had a tough time finding anyone to talk to, so I depended on my fiance to help me through the separation. I became very depressed and would tell her how hard things were for me, not really realizing how hard it was for her too, but she never told me that. After weeks at her new job, she met a friendly guy at the gym. She was in a new place and looking to make friends, so they would talk at the gym and hang out after work occasionally. I didn't know about him. Fast forward a month, and I finally found a job near her and moved there. Everything continued as if we were never apart. We both make excellent money and buy land together to build a home one day. Not knowing what we'll need for our home, we also buy a house to live in until we build. We get 2 dogs together. We buy a vehicle together. We make friends together. We get engaged. Fast forward about 9 months and we're camping with a group of friends playing Never Have I Ever. My fiance and one of the girls chat about wedding plans. One of our super drunk, kind of hillbilly friends speaks out, "Never have I ever cheated on my girlfriends," as he immediately throws back his beer. I don't drink, and as everyone does, lying that game, kind of scans to the room to see who they can chirp or having done such a heinous crime. I make my eye contact with my fiancée, who has an easy look on her face. She jumps up and tells her friend she has to go to pee, and they run off together in search of the bathrooms in the pitch black campground. I don't think much of it. Back home, about a week later, my fiancée says she wants me to fill out a couple's questionnaire. I think it's silly, but she seems pretty persistent, so I agree. The questionnaire includes finance questions, family questions, sex questions, and infidelity questions. Two of these questions were, how would you tell your partner if you confided with a person of the opposite sex? And how would you react to finding out your partner confided in a person of the opposite sex? Silly didn't realize she had plenty of those questions to find out how I would react. I still had no idea anything had happened, so I said, I don't know, mostly because it's a hard question to answer, but also because I had never considered it. While we're discussing some of our answers, I feel her hands getting very clammy and ask if she's feeling alright. She immediately burst into tears and says that 3 years ago, she confided in someone while we were apart, the guy she met at the gym. Not entirely sure what she meant, I asked. What do you mean by confided? Like just talking about our relationship and hard times? She said yes, and I kind of laughed because I didn't really care if she flirted with a guy at the gym. She's still crying, but saying how surprised she is by how well I took it. This should have been a flag. I continued to joke about it because she was making it out to be such a big deal. Eventually, said something along the lines of, it's no big deal. It's not like you kissed or anything. She immediately changed the subject and we continued chatting and joking about her flirting at the gym. The next day I clued and asked her if she kissed him. She said yes. Now, while on my way down the rabbit hole, I asked if they had sex. She said yes. I asked if she used protection. She said yes. I just walked away. I was so angry and sad. I crushed. I asked some questions like how long did this last? Was it before or after I moved 400 miles to be with you? Why? Although most things still feel normal, I still have some stored rage and depression that I never let her see. My questions are, what are the right questions to ask her about the affair? What shouldn't I ask? Do I stay with her? How do I help myself to get over it? Having been years ago and having come so far together.